Today we're going to be doing Microsoft Excel Module 2, entering text. I'm going to go ahead and click the practice button since I've already done this one. You can click the learn button to get started. And the first command is we're going to click File, and we're going to make a new blank workbook. And it wants us to click in the cell A2. That means that we're going to look at the letter A and then look for the number 2 and click inside of that cell, which happens to be right here. And what we're going to do is type the word or the words price quote. And then you're going to push enter, and you'll notice that directly sends you to cell A3. Now it wants us to press enter twice to move down 2 rows. And in cell A5, we're going to type airfare. And then we're going to push enter. Make sure you click mark as answered, and we're going to move on to the next task, which is entering text data. It says in cell A6, we're going to type hotel. You can push enter. Once again, you do not have to double click in the cell. You can just type and your text will be inserted into the cell. We'll push car rental and press enter, and in cell A8, we're going to type taxes and then press enter. It says here, if you entered the wrong value into a cell, simply select the cell and type the entire correct entry again to prevent the incorrect value. So if you mistyped any of these, just retype them. All right, make sure you click mark as answered, and we're going to go to the third task, which is kind of interesting. It talks about using a really great feature in Excel called Autocomplete. So to display this feature, we're going to go to cell A9, and it wants us to type the letter A. And it wants us to notice that Excel automatically offers us a text label based on our previous entry. Notice we typed airfare up here. It wants to suggest that maybe we want to use this word again. And so it says you can now press the enter key to accept it or continue typing the value that you want. We're going to actually ignore this suggested label based on what task 2 wants us to do. And we're going to continue to type the words airport fees. So go ahead and type here in cell A9 airport fees and push enter. Notice that the text extends further than the default column width for this text entry. So what this is saying is, notice that for all of these other columns that the text is supposed to stop where this gray bar is. Well, in the instances of car rental and airport fees, it goes past that mark. Now it wants to let us know that if we were to enter data in this next column, if I was to put something right here in cells B9, then the label in A9, which is airport fees, would actually get cut off. And so because there's nothing here, Excel is smart enough to say, okay, well, let's go ahead and show the rest of that text. But if I were to type something here, I'll just type my name. Now airport fees is cut off. And so you don't actually have to do that, but I just wanted to display what would happen if you were to type in a cell where the column is not big enough to the cell next to it. All right, so moving on, we're going to go ahead and move on to task 3, which is in cell A12, we are going to type airline. So right here, I'm going to type airline. Make sure you put a colon and press enter. Notice this time that when we typed the letter A, we did not get offered the word airfare, airport fees. And this is because airline was away from airport fees and airfare. There was this blank space in between them. So Excel doesn't think that you would want to use it because it's not next to this other set of data. So we're going to go ahead and finish typing this other information here. And there's a picture to show you what it needs to look like. And so I'm going to type hotel, colon, and in B12, which is right here, I'm going to type Great West Airline. Then in B13, I'm going to type Hotel Zathura, I believe is how we pronounce that. Push enter. And once you've done that, you can click mark as answered and go ahead and submit this module. And if you followed along with me, you should get a 100.